JT, what's going on, man? We
How's it
got
going?
Ole Miss pitcher, brand new Ole Miss pitcher, JT Quinn on today. How's it going up there?
It's going pretty well. Just excited to be on here. So
Hell yeah, man. Before we start, I do got to give a shout out to my dad, Mr. Fisher, for
Yep.
making this happen. I know he's gonna be listening. So thank you, Dad, for making this happen. And thank you, JT. I hope you learned an equation or two under him.
No, I did.
Yeah.
But
He's a big baseball guy too.
yeah.
So JT, Berkeley, your senior year, I want you kind of your rundown of your season, like how you felt about it, and then kind of like your transition now into Ole Miss. Can you just give us a rundown of your last year or so?
Yeah, real quick before you go, JT. So for people that don't know, you had 68.1 innings pitched, 9 wins, 1.02 ERA, and 82 strikeouts. It's pretty not bad if you ask me.
Thank you. Yeah, so I thought this year went really well for me and the team, obviously. We were state runner-ups this year. We got really hot the first, 22 games of the season. We went like 22-0. We obviously knew we were really good. But yeah, I thought it went great. Obviously being state runner-up is a really tough thing to do. So that was just a lot of fun to be able to play with the guys, for one last time that I've been with for the past 4 years. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, just being here now, it's pretty smooth transition, I would say. Everyone here is doing a really good job of helping us all out, like all the recruits and stuff. So I think it's been great, at least the transition so far.
When did you start going to Berkeley? Were you a high schooler only?
6th grade.
6th grade?
Yeah.
Now, did you go there with the intent of you wanting to play under Warren and stuff?
Yeah, I think he was there for 3 years or so. And obviously you heard stories about him at Jesuit and how great of a coach he was there. So, you wanted to kind of be a part of his greatness. And I wish we finished the job this year, but I think we did a pretty good job of at least writing a little story for ourselves.
Yeah, so you guys actually swept Jesuit this year. You went 2 for 2, I believe.
So we won one. We just played it one time and we beat them then.
Yeah. So that's what's crazy, dude, is to think that team won states and you guys didn't. I don't like that. Berkeley's team was stacked. That's all you guys have: a Wake Forest commit, Florida State commit, Coastal Carolina commit, a Northwestern commit. Like that. I went to Berkeley way back in the day, and I don't ever remember a single team at Berkeley ever having that much depth. So it's crazy to see what Warren's done, and especially with the baseball program and how they kind of supported it and the growth of it. It used to be like you guys were kind of like Jesuit's little brother, and now it's like you can go play baseball at Berkeley or Jesuit and make something happen.
Exactly. It's a pretty cool thing, just being able to be a part of something like that and kind of the building of a program into what it has become now. So that was pretty cool.
Now, did you pitch in the state finals or were you in the state semis?
I was the semis.
Yeah. What was that like?
It was pretty awesome. Just the whole experience and all. I didn't play summer ball last year. So just being around the guys in a hotel for a night and being able to just have fun. It was kind of a new, an old, nostalgic thing for me, which is pretty cool. And then obviously pitching in the state semi game was in a huge stadium with, a couple hundred people that was a really cool thing as well. So.
Which stadium was it at? Because I remember when we went to states, I'm pretty sure it was the Twins minor league place.
Yep,
it's still there.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's in the big stadium there.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
It's a nice facility. I'm assuming.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Is it good? You have good support there from Berkeley fans?
Did we have what?
Good support there from the Berkeley fans?
Yeah. So we had the only problem was they had exams.
That's the issue with baseball, bro.
Yep.
That's the issue. It's always during exams.
Exactly. And then so we had, I think it was a fan bus or two come. We had all the parents, probably like 40 students, 50 students.
Not bad.
But that was it was pretty cool, just seeing all the people that you kind of grew up with being there for you, like probably one of the biggest games of your life. So that was awesome.
No, for sure. Did you get your exams pushed back?
So I didn't take the exams this year.
Really?
I had like all alternative assessments, so that was pretty nice.
For you, man. So you were chilling regardless.
Yeah, exactly. I was just kind of focused on baseball at that point. So
Yeah. So were you on varsity all 4 years at Berkeley?
I was JV freshman year.
Okay. Because I don't know if you were at Berkeley when I was still at CDS when we had RC runs, because we used to play Berkeley like every year.
You'd have been a freshman, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was my freshman year when you guys were good.
Yeah, we went like 25-4. Dude, we should have beat Calvary that year. When Calvary was the number 1 team in the country, I thought we had that game.
They had them beat, bro, and they were gonna snap the streak.
Yeah, but Berkeley was one of our only 4 losses. Like, I don't know why. Like, we had beaten them years prior, but they always seem to have our number. But I mean, they had Bosnick.
I can tell you why. It's because Julian Bosnick shoves.
Julian Bosnick. He's going to
Arkansas. Yeah, he was like last week. He just committed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever get to talk to him or like any of the older Berkeley alumni at all, like Sam Bennett or any of those guys?
So Sam, I'm best friend, or not best friends, but I'm friends with one of Sam's brothers.
That's right. Yeah, you're in the
younger brother.
Yeah.
So we were pretty close for a little bit. And I guess I talked to him occasionally, but he works his butt off, man. I mean, he's a really good role model to have, and he just does all the right stuff, I think. And then Bosnick, I worked out with him for, I don't know, a couple weeks, whatever, like I think a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he was pretty cool too.
He's also another
quiet.
Yeah, he's quiet. He grinds. He grinds in silence, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, he's a hard worker for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you have a lot of old teammates now on teams, either in your conference or on teams you're going to end up playing this year. Are you looking forward to competing against those guys? Like, have you talked about it at all, or I guess talk shit a little bit at least?
I don't think we have a ton of guys that are already there, but I mean, we know a bunch of people that are going to SEC, ACC schools this year, like that were at Berkeley this year that we were best friends with. So yeah, I mean, we've talked crap obviously, and I don't know, I'm just excited to compete against them. So that'll be fun.
Is that something that's cool for you? Is like seeing, like, backing on this new success of Berkeley baseball, is like seeing now how it spreads out to the next level and how you're able to talk to guys like Julian Bosnick and Sam Bennett. Because like I said, when I was there, that didn't really exist. There was no like elite baseball players that you could look up to or model after and be like, oh, I can't wait to play Berkeley baseball to be like so-and-so. That didn't exist yet.
Yeah, it's obviously really cool. I think that there's a bunch of guys that have kind of paved the path for us. And if we can't, I guess we don't talk to them a ton, but I guess following in their footsteps has always been kind of a goal of all of my teammates and myself as well. So
yeah, you've been working on or anything yet at Ole Miss, or you're just like getting adapted and like taking summer classes?
Yeah, so we're taking a summer class, and then we've had workouts for 2.5 weeks now.
What are those workouts like?
They're tough. But yeah, I think that's I don't know, it's the best thing possible for me right now.
Have you been talking to any of the older guys, like any of the other pitchers, and like trying to pick their brain a little bit, or like try to learn what it's about to be like, or the transition?
Yeah, and they, like, all credit to them. They've been awesome so far. I mean, they've really, I don't know, you kind of think going into it that the older guys are going to kind of big league the younger guys a little bit and kind of themselves, but that's just not been the case here. It's been awesome. Like, every single one of them is super open and answering questions and talking to you about the program and all this stuff, and it's been really cool.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So for your summer program, do they have you more on like weightlifting for now? Like, do they even have you throwing at all over the summer? Like, are they just trying to like take it easy on the arms and then I guess ramp you up closer to season?
So I took about 4 weeks off of throwing right after our season. So like end of May to end of June. So right when I got up here, I started throwing. They wanted us to kind of slowly ramp up, but start early. And yeah, we've been weightlifting as well, obviously. So yeah, it's been really good up here so far, I'd say.
Yeah, you
You
haven't
guys have
had
a
like, oh, I'm sorry, Zach, you.
oh my bad, but I was gonna ask, do you guys have a diet program? I'm assuming so because I know my cousin at Wake, they like when he got there, he said I didn't even realize how much the diet changed for me. He's like they literally had me eating 4 or 5,000 calories a day, like had to be like tracked every second. So
Yeah,
is it like that there now?
yeah, we have a great dietitian. Her name's Jordan, and she's with I think us in basketball. But we have our own like nutrition center like right upstairs that we can walk to, grab a protein shake, snack, whatever we want. And then I think last week we did this thing called a bod pod, and you walk into it, sit in it, and it does like body fat percentage, how many calories you need to like maintain your weight, and then how many calories you need to make, how many calories you need to gain weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's top notch stuff here, and I guess knowing that information about dieting is something that I've never had before. And I mean, I've already put on, I don't know, 10 pounds in the past 2 weeks. So, I mean, I didn't know dieting kind of is the foundation for gaining weight. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't really take it into, I didn't put it in there.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, everyone here has been awesome about kind of figuring out your goals and how to achieve them. So
Yeah, dude, I didn't start like because I wrestled and fought my whole life, but I never really like when I was in high school, it was just like eat as healthy as you can think of and drink a lot of water. And then when
yeah,
I got older, I started like researching it more, doing my own work, and like I was like, there's got to be a way for me to feel great at all times. So I started like adjusting my diet, and I started like doing trial and tribulations like with certain foods. Like I would try rice as my carbs for a week, see how my body would feel before and after workout with rice or like with pasta and stuff. And I started noticing like how my body reacted better to certain stuff and how like it was like more sluggish or took longer to digest certain things or like inflammation. Like I just started looking at everything. And then once I got it to a T, I finally did it like the proper way for the first time in my life for my first fight camp. And I felt amazing. Like I felt like my body recovery sped up. I felt like I got better sleep. Like it's crazy. You hear it from like the top guys all the time preaching about it. But when you're young, especially in high school, you don't think about that shit. You're like,
yeah,
oh, and then you actually start thinking about it and you just implement little things. And it's like one of those things that like can completely change the game you never even think about.
yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what it's been for me here. And I've always thought of myself as it's really tough for me to gain weight. I don't know. I can't gain weight, that kind of thing. And I guess this 2-week experience has changed my mind about that.
I mean, being 6'6" is also probably pretty hard to gain some weight.
Yeah. I just think there was something wrong that I was doing. So it's pretty cool to see it already corrected up here. So
Yeah. So Zach was telling me earlier, and I don't know how exactly the long period, but you went up like 12 miles per hour in your velo in like a year, right? Like 2 years.
I don't remember. I think I was 80 in freshman year. Yes, I might have had a really big jump. I think I was like 88 sophomore year. Yeah, I grew like I think 4 inches or something like that sophomore year. I was like 6'4", like the
Crazy.
Bucks.
15 years old.
I was pretty skinny. And yeah, that's when I got recruited here. But yeah, I think I gained a little bit of velo between there.
Now, what was it that you were doing differently to help that? You think it was just natural puberty, or were you like trying to put on weight? Were you working with a better throwing coach? Like, do you think there was something you did that you did to change that?
I think it was a mix of both. I think it was a mix of both. I guess my freshman year, I was small and skinny as well. And then obviously I grew sophomore year, got a little bit thicker. And I think the big change was starting to work out at that age. So I don't know. I probably put on 20 pounds then. And that also really helped. So I don't know. Just getting in the weight room was really big for me, I think.
So what kind of helped solidify your decision to commit to Ole Miss? Like coming out of Berkeley, I don't know if like they reached out to you or you were reaching out to colleges at the time, but like what like really cemented for you that I wanted to go to Ole Miss?
I think everything about it. I did a lot of research because it was in COVID, so I had nothing else to do.
Damn, that's
But I was talking to our coaches here. They were awesome. That was a really big decision point for me.
You said they reached out to you your sophomore year?
Yeah, they reached out to Coach Warren,
Okay.
and that's kind of how I got recruited. But yeah, that was a really big point for me, just having coaches that I could really trust and develop under for hopefully the next 3 years, 3 to 4 years, whatever it is. And obviously the facilities are really good. Developmental programs are really good. And just being able to compete at the highest level in college baseball is, that was really important for me. So that was something I really wanted. So I guess all that together just blended into a perfect mix for me. And I guess being up here now is kind of proving that decision to me.
Yeah, and they're pretty good at baseball too, you know.
Excuse me?
They're also pretty good at baseball.
They're pretty, so that helped a little bit too.
Yeah. Now, what's it called? When they were recruiting you, they couldn't reach out to you yet because you were too young, right?
Yeah.
So, like you were just kind of like third party talking to Coach Warren.
No. So the recruiting rule is, I guess, they can reach out to Coach Warren, then Warren can reach out to me, and then I can text the coaches here.
Okay.
And then you can set up a call, but they can't answer anything you do unless it's a call.
Damn.
Or like text.
Until like the July 1st going into your junior year, I believe.
I think September 1st, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so you were talking about getting recruited during COVID. Does that mean you couldn't go on any visits there? Like, what was
No.
the recruiting process like during COVID?
So I got, I guess, a few offers, whatever. But it was, I guess you tell the coaches, at least my thought process was, tell the coaches that I'm going to take my time and visit these schools. And if I like your school enough, then I'll come here. And a little bit of that was just kind of seeing what they would say and how much a priority that I am to them. So right when I told Ole Miss, I was like, hey, I appreciate the offer. I'm going to take my time with this decision. And if you're okay with it, probably spend a couple of weeks and trying to get on a visit, like to come here. Mm-hmm. And kind of the selling point where I knew I was going to make the right decision in committing there was, he was like, take your time. There's no rush at all. Like, you're a really high priority to us. So just take your time.
Yeah. So it wasn't they were like, oh, we got another guy. If you don't want to come, it's like, no, you're our guy.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a selling point for me, at least. So that was really good.
Yeah.
How many schools did you visit? Like, if you even visited any at all?
I didn't. So I didn't visit any. I committed here, and then I visited like 3 days later. So I didn't visit any schools before I committed.
That's crazy. Yeah, and you gotta love also playing at Ole Miss. Like, you gotta love the fan atmosphere. Like, that's a school where like they're tailgating for baseball games. Like, they're going to the baseball games. They're hosting the regional, and like there's everyone there. Like, that's something that's awesome too. Because especially with baseball, it's like really hit or miss with how the school like backs. Exactly. But at Ole Miss, you're getting sold out games almost every game, dude. And you're playing in big time games as well, playing in the SEC.
Yeah. I think there's like 9,000 average fans here.
Awesome.
Which is absurd for college baseball.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I don't know, that goes to show how good our fan base is. And you can already tell after we won the World Series, all the recruits were up here. I mean, there's people coming into Tupelo. That's another city in Mississippi. Tupelo here. I mean, there's just thousands of fans, and that was just awesome to see.
If I'm not mistaken, Ole Miss is when they hit a home run, the fans throw their beers up, right?
Throw the beers in right field.
Oh, dude, that is so lit. That is so lit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's an atmosphere you want to play baseball in for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not as a pitcher when you're playing against somebody.
Yeah, and they go yard on you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Are there any places you're looking forward to playing at this year? Like any stadiums you maybe haven't played in yet, or like have been looking forward to?
Honestly, I think just here. I don't know. We throw on this field every day, so you always kind of dream on 13,000 people sitting here and everyone screaming and it being loud. So I don't know. This is a place where I really want to play.
Now, was it being SEC like a big deal for you too? Like you kind of wanted to, because like it's without an argument, SEC is the best conference in college baseball.
Yeah.
Like Big 12 and ACC are solid, but in depth wise, that no one's the SEC. Was that the playing for SEC another thing that like meant a lot to you?
Yeah, I think so. I think just playing against the best competition in the country was something that I wanted to have, and just to be able to challenge myself. So yeah, that was a pretty big factor for me.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you ball in the SEC, you're legitimate. Like that's just how it is.
And it just sets you up best in the future. And I don't know. I think that this is the best place for me to be. Yeah.
So I was on Twitter the other day, and I saw that MLB released like a draft report on you. I guess they're like scouting report of you, and they said that right now you just have like a fastball and curveball mix. Are you working on developing like a changeup or any other secondary pitches like at this time, or like you thinking of adding anything?
Yeah. So yeah, I am fastball and curveball heavy. But I mean, even since I've been up here, I've added a changeup and somewhat of a slider. It's crazy how you get one little tip from the right person and it's a good pitch in your mix. So yeah, I mean, these guys have been, like I said, been really awesome to me. And the two pitches I got, the changeup and the slider up here, have both been from returners. So that was pretty cool, just for them to be able to reach out and say, hey, this is how I throw my changeup, this is how I throw my slider. You should try it out, whatever. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
I feel like sometimes when it's like a teammate or like someone that's not your coach, but like you kind of like admire, like look up to a little, it's easier to correlate with them, and it's easier to like if your teammate's like, yo, JT, look, this is how I do it. You can relate that easier because, you know, like you're like in his shoes versus if a coach is drilling you like, oh, do it like this. It's like, dude, I don't want to hear this no more, you know?
Yeah, I think to some extent that's true. I don't know. These guys are, it's just one little thing kind of makes it click in your head. And whether that's a coach or a player, I think that's super important. So
for sure. Now, something I wanted to ask you, what do you think is more crucial for being a successful pitcher? Having like one or maybe two like disgusting pitches, or having an arsenal of like 5 to 6 pretty average, okay pitches?
I think if you can command a bunch of pitches, I think that's really beneficial for you. I think it's super hard to get away with having 2 pitches as a starter. So that's why I am currently trying to get 4 pitches, 3 pitches, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it is really hard to compete with 2 pitches as a starter. So yeah, I think that I'd probably say, I guess 4 or 5 pitches that are average to okay would be better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So when do you guys start scrimmages, or like when do you do like inter squad games?
I think early to mid October.
Oh, that's
okay,
wild.
so you're not
That's
too.
wild. Yeah, you're chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're chilling.
Okay.
There's no. This might be really stupid, but I don't play baseball. But there's no fall ball or like winter ball in college, right?
So there's like a mini camp. It's kind of like a mini camp. Yeah. I guess I think we have 2 18-inning games during the course of the year, or the course of the fall. But yeah, it's not like a week or a bunch of games or anything like that. So
Yeah, because in high school it's like that, right? Like you guys just go and play other high schools, but it's like it doesn't really count.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, dude, you could literally play baseball year round. That's crazy.
I know it is.
That's another thing. Do you think, like, because I know you played a lot of travel ball, because I saw your perfect game profile. I was trying to go through that, and then what I kind of got out of it is that being from Florida, you get to literally play baseball year round, like whenever you want.
Kids against the best
kids.
Yeah.
Do you think Florida has like the best competition out of like all the states? Like, and what is your experience playing other states like in the country?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, there's a bunch of different states that are obviously considered the top states for like Florida, California, and Texas, I think. I don't know. I think that playing here, you obviously face really good competition. And I guess that's kind of would, I don't know. It's yeah, I think that there's really good content. Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. I think Florida. I mean, like you said, though, those are just 3 states you can play year round.
Yeah, exactly.
Did
And
you,
that's
you only play baseball growing up, or did you play anything else too?
so I played football, I think up until my freshman year, and then I mean a little bit of basketball here and there.
But like when you
But-
got to high school, you were ready to commit to baseball.
Pretty much. I think sophomore year was when I was like, yeah, this is my sport, and if I can get anything out of it, I love this game. Like I'm gonna keep playing it, that kind of thing.
Were you always a PO, or did you hit it all?
So I hit going into sophomore year, and then I think I grew a lot and just got really uncoordinated. Could not really hit. So
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the like I said, I never played baseball, but when is like the age for like a kid when they're kind of like, all right, we're not going to be a utility guy anymore. Like this is what we're going to do. Like I'm going to be a PO. Like is there like usually like an age where kids start to figure that out?
I think it's probably when you get to the bigger fields. It just kind of starts to show that some kids, like myself, cannot really play the field or hit. So yeah, I mean, probably around freshman, sophomore year, I'd say.
What did you play Little League in Florida
I did.
or
Yeah.
in Tampa?
Yeah.
So wait, which organization did you play for?
It was like Keystone Little League.
Oh, you played for Keystone? Okay.
Yeah.
So what was their like age groups? Because like I'm pretty sure the field dimensions correlate. Because I know I played in Forest Hills and Citrus Park, and then it was like Shetland Pony, like that system, and I completely forget the other one. But like they had huge jumps from like the 200 field to the 300. Like that was a big change for a lot of players, and that's when we saw like kind of the drop off from kids playing baseball. Like it went from like, all right, you can like kind of get away with not being good, but once you get to the 300 field, like you kind of have to be able to play the game. Like this isn't going to be a joke anymore.
Yeah, Johnny, sorry, dude, you suck now. You can't hit the ball past the fence.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. That's kind of how I was.
You're like, I can't hit anymore. I just got to throw the ball.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of sports though. What would you say is like the biggest factor baseball wise, like between the high school and college level? Like what makes the jump so much, like what makes the game so much different?
I think probably just physicality. You come up here and you see guys that are, I don't know, 6'3", 240, like some big guys
Yeah.
that have obviously been in the weight room for years. So those guys that just are naturally really talented kind of separate themselves when you get to college and there's guys that are lifting ridiculous amounts of weight and just really big. So yeah, I think probably physicality.
And you're also going from, you could be pitching, especially at Berkeley, if you play like another school like Berkeley, like Tampa Prep or something, you could legitimately be pitching against a 13 or 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Like a middle school varsity. And then you go here and you have grown ass men.
Yeah, I mean, there's, especially with COVID, there's 22, 23
Yeah,
year old
no, you have
guys.
like
now,
7
so
years that you could be playing against. That's
Exactly.
insane to think about, dude. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
And then you got like BYU and they're like 45 playing baseball.
Yep.
That's crazy to think about too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
so
yeah, sorry, goes on.
so what I was going to say is when you got to Ole Miss, do you guys do a lot of team activities outside of baseball? Because I know for like some of the hardest transition is like you're leaving your hometown to come to a completely new state. So like I'm assuming they're trying to make that transition easier for you. It's like, are they doing anything to help with that at all, you feel?
Yeah, I think that's where the returners and older guys come in. We went over to their house and I don't know, we play cards or just mess around and have fun. But I think that's just kind of like a returner thing. It wasn't forced by any coaches or anything like that. It's just the older guys wanting to get to know the younger guys and vice versa. So yeah, there's been a little bit of it, and it's been really fun so far. So I'm excited to keep going.
How many kids were in your signing class?
Ooh, 16, 17.
Holy crap. How many kids were on a baseball team in college?
I think 40 or so.
Damn.
But we're losing probably, I don't know, 20 guys or so. We're losing a bunch of people this year.
Is
Whether
Elko
it's to the
staying?
draft or excuse me?
Is Elko staying?
No, he's done. He's getting drafted this year, I think.
He was gross this year.
Mm-hmm.
You've been keeping up
Very
with the
good.
MLB draft at all?
Excuse me?
Have you been keeping up with the MLB draft at all?
So we watched it last night. One of my boys got drafted, Roman Anthony, to the Boston Red Sox in the 79th pick. So yeah, we were keeping up for that. So that was pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
And I don't know, it was just kind of cool to see guys that you played against or played with going in the draft and seeing where they go and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it kind of gives you that sense of like, if they did it, I did everything they're doing, like I could do it too. The kind of like a realization in some way.
Yeah, I think it's just extra motivation. You want to get to those. You want to get to there one day, whether it's now or in 2 to 4 years or whatever it is. So yeah, I just think it's extra motivation.
Now, baseball is extremely mental. Like I would say, probably just as important as the physical aspect. Is there anything you've been trying to do differently now to help strengthen your mental or help get your mindset right for college? Like, is there any like tips or stuff they're doing? Like you're reading, like anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, we have, I think it's like 3 or 4 sports psychologists up here, and you're encouraged pretty highly to go and see them and just talk. So yeah, I think that's going to help a lot. Just talking to someone about your performances, what's on your mind, that kind of thing is going to really help. So yeah, I mean, we are.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, like not trying to knock on you, but there's definitely going to be a point where like you're going to go through like a time where you're like, dude, I suck. Like I don't even.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean
And,
that's already happened too.
Yeah, and have that support, have something like that. I feel
Yeah.
like it's so beneficial to such a young athlete.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep I'm the best ever attitude and confidence level at all times. There's obviously times where you kind of doubt yourself and when things get really tough. But I think it's just having the mental capacity to stick through that and keep working or whatever you have to do at that given moment, and just keep pushing along. So.
Because I mean, you went from Berkeley where you were the guy, and then you go to Ole Miss, and there's 15 other guys that are the guy.
Exactly. Yeah. And everyone here was the guy at their high school.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
So when you get on the mound, though, you said like it's hard to keep or sustain that like I'm the best mentality. Is that kind of the philosophy you use when you're on the mound? Like, is that what you're thinking?
I think that there's a certain level of cockiness that you have to bring to the table when you're in between the lines. Like you said, baseball is a really mental game, and it's hard to compete with the best out there if you don't think you're the best. So I think you kind of have to think about it that way, in my opinion.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete with the best if you don't think you're the best.
Yeah. And obviously you don't want it to come off as super cocky. But I guess that's just the way I think about it when I'm in between the white lines. So
yeah, but it's not cocky. That's a confidence, dude. That's not cockiness.
Yeah.
You being cocky would be like I'm better than every kid in this field. Nah, you just going out there and it's kind of like you belong there. Like I know I'm supposed to be here. You know, that's a confidence thing 100%. I would not call that cockiness.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't call that cockiness. But we had I don't know if you know who he is, but Jack Anderson, who used to play at Jesuit, and then he pitched at Florida State. We had him on the podcast, and he was saying one of the biggest transitions for him, which is another a mental thing, which I want to piggyback off of it, is plate discipline. And like he's like, you'd go out there and pitch, and in high school you could get tired and just slide by just being better at pitching and just strike a kid out, or like throw a ball that's is going to get grounded or something like that. He's like, versus when he got to Florida State, it was like every single pitch he had to give 100%. Like you can't take a pitch off. Is that something you started to notice, or something you're trying to get prepared for and work well with as well?
Yeah, I think you get little glimpses of that when you play teams like Jesuit or Calvert Christian, where there's really no breaks in the lineup, and you have to pay attention to every single pitch that's being thrown. And yeah, that's a super hard thing to do at first. But I think if you're locked in and you have a really good mental side of the game, then it's possible. But yeah, I mean, that is a really tough thing to do, to go from high school where, like you said, you're facing 13-year-old kids and you can just throw, if you're, I don't know, good enough, you can just throw a fastball by them. So yeah, I think that's a really big change. I think you're right.
Yeah, and I've never played baseball, but I just feel like that'd be so frustrating. Like if I'm just exhausted in the heat and Ole Miss or in Florida, and it's like I'm just gonna zoom by this kid and get a strikeout. Versus now, it's like I have to be surgical. Like I can't just zoom it by him.
And it's just attention to detail, and that gets super hard when it's, I don't know, a Tuesday game with nobody there and it's 95 degrees. But I think that it takes a special kind of competitor to be able to deal with that. And I think that's what a lot of these schools try and recruit, not just really good players, but people that have a really good competitive edge. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you think you were like kind of instilled that philosophy or like your mental side of the game, or do you feel like you just kind of learned it through playing?
I think it was trial and error. I think it was like sophomore year. I was super lackadaisical and just would kind of go out there and try and throw hard, but not really think about too much. But then once it got to junior year and it got more real, then I think you I think you lock it in and I don't know, get a more professional mindset.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. When did it come? Was it your sophomore year where it's like, this is no longer a game? Like, this is my job. Like, when was like you flipped the switch and you're like, this is what we're going to do now? Like, we're going to go play college baseball.
Probably junior year. I think, obviously you still have a lot of fun. But I think it becomes but I guess more of your mind gets dedicated to, this is a livelihood. And yeah, it's not just a game, but yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it comes way more. I remember when I was like in middle school into high school, I remember kids telling me like, yeah, like this is the last time you're really gonna like love it and have fun because the next level is like a job. And like in college, it's literally your life.
Yeah. I think if you're playing at this level, you still obviously love the game. And that's, if you want to make it far, that has to be a driving factor in your motivation. Just really loving the game. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's some parts in the back of your head where there's scholarships on the line, there's money on the line, that kind of stuff. So it is hard to stay laser focused, but I think for a lot of people, and I think of myself this way, the love of the game kind of takes over all that stuff, and that's really the only thing on your mind whenever you're about to skip a workout or not throw that day or those kind of things. So that's just the one thing that pops in your head, just the love of the game. So you just dedicate yourself towards it, I think.
Yeah, like that. And then what you said about like that Tuesday game with bowling's there, because I used to have a coach that was like, you should love it to the point where like if nobody was there at all, you still want to compete and win. Like that's how bad you love it. Like, because it's like you got to think of yourself as like a little kid in the backyard playing baseball or like anything. It's you. If you took away all the fans, you took away all the glory, and it was just you and me and that kid, or like you and that team. There's no one else there, and you just play to win. That's what it should mean. Like you should want to win it, not for the fame, but because you want to win the game.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it. I think that's really hard for some people to do too. I think people get caught up in all the fame and hype of playing baseball or playing football, whatever the case may be, that they really forget about why they're playing the game.
No, dude, especially in your generation, now you see kids that are like posting all their scholarship offers, or coach emailed me and they're posting it.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And it's like, there's sometimes you're even wondering, like, are you playing this sport because you love it? Like, do you actually even want to play in college, or you just want to like let everybody know, like, you know what I mean? It's weird now. It's really weird.
It is really weird. So
yeah. And we kind of see it at the pro level, how like the game's turning more into like an entertainment aspect, like more like showboating home runs, like people showing others up. Like, and I'm all for it. Like personally, like I like when a guy pimps a home run or a pitcher gets fired up. I don't know how you necessarily feel about it. I kind of want your opinion. Like if someone were to pimp a home run off you, like, are you the type of guy that's going to put one in the rib cage if they stare at it a little too long, or are you going to like just let it slide, or maybe give them a little head nod after you strike them out?
No, I think if you earn it, then you have whatever right to do whatever you want. There was a kid actually that hit a home run off me last year in the regional semifinals. It was hit very far, and he walked 20 feet, threw the bat up 40 feet in the air. And yeah, I mean, it sucks, but he earned it, so he can do whatever he wants, pretty much, in my opinion.
Yeah, we also won, so
We did win that game, so it works.
yeah, who cares? No, I do agree with Zach though. I feel like baseball a little bit more than everything else because of the slowness of the game, but they're definitely trying to do more to like entertain and get fans. Like you saw that when they put the Red Sox and Yankees in that tiny ass field in England. So they were going yard. I mean, they're definitely juicing the baseballs too. Like there's just too many things. Like the old school game of baseball does not exist anymore. Now it's about what can we do to get people to watch the sport.
Yeah, I think some of it's really good. And just getting little kids to watch, or I don't know, whoever may be watching. But I think it's important to grow the game in however you can. So I guess I don't really know all they're doing or what they're doing, but I think probably most of it's for the best, I think.
Now,
So,
speaking on this changes, a topic that Zach and I talk about a lot, and that a lot of people in the baseball world are talking about. What are your thoughts on them wanting to change to the robot umps? You know, like what's it called?
Automated strike zones.
Automated strike zones.
yeah. I think that it sucks for catchers that are built on framing in their defense, because that kind of takes away some of their value. I think that part sucks for them. And yeah, I don't know. I think that take that away, and I think it's a good thing. Just having a more perfected strike zone, because that's obviously a really big topic in today's game is umpires sucking or whatever the case may be.
You don't gotta quote it. They suck. It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
No, I've heard, dude. We've asked a lot of people that, and I've never heard that response about the catcher, which is crazy to think about. You also hear the fact that people are like, well, it gets rid of like human error, which is like part of the game. You know, like adjusting to the strike zone should be part of the game. Like that's other arguments of it. As a fan, for me, I feel like the whole point of being a ref or being an ump, you're supposed to be as least involved as possible. You're supposed to let the sport go on, and you're supposed to guide it and make sure the rules aren't broken. And I feel like NBA is bad with it, but the MLB, especially, umpires are so controlling, like throwing dudes out just because they don't like the dude, like nothing at all. Like who was the pitcher this year that they were checking his hand and didn't even look at his hand? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
I think it's for the Diamondbacks. They were like, let me
it's probably out on them.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's probably.
The ump literally was like, let me check your hand. And he was like checking his hand, just looking at him, didn't even look at his hand. And the guy was like,
Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, they threw him out.
Yeah.
Like, that's so dumb, dude. I feel like you should have at least amount when it comes to like rules like that. Like, it shouldn't be based, like, it's crazy to think about it that a man can just stand there and in his mind choose if that's a ball or strike. That's so much control. That's so much control. What other sport does a referee have that much control? Other than maybe MMA, where they can stop it whenever they want.
I don't know. Because for me, like when I look at it now, like there are still some really good umpires, like John Lipka, when he's behind home plate, like he will have like 98, 99% accurate strike calls and ball calls throughout the game. Like he'll have 1 to 2 missed calls. Like he's very good. But one of the biggest things for him is he's still really young. Like I'm pretty sure like he's still in his like young 30s. I don't know for sure. I'll have to double check that. But like some of these other umpires, they're way too old to be behind home plate anymore. Like I just don't think they can react that fast to a 100-mile-an-hour fastball or read the break to like some of these guys' curveballs. Like it's just they're way past their prime pretty much. So I don't think they'll be able to compete at this level anymore.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, I like what you're saying. A 60-year-old dude can't read 100-mile-per-hour fastball. He just can't. I'm sorry. Like he might have the expertise on it, but he can't pinpoint it. Like that thing's zooming. You can't even see it at the plate. You have to just assume it. You know what I mean? Like how is he supposed to read? That dude has to drive like this on the highway. What makes you think he can see a ball this fast and zoom by?
Yeah, for sure. JT, what how important do you think it is to have like a stud catcher behind the home plate when you're on the mound? Like, how much of a factor is that in your performance, do you feel?
I think it helps your confidence a lot. Just being able to throw a pitch and kind of wherever it is, that the catcher is going to try and do a good job and not try, but do a good job in framing it. I guess making it look better than it sometimes is. And even for your sake, not just for the umpire, just being able to see, okay, that wasn't that far off. Let's stay there and just change a little. Let's just move it over a little bit. Even though it might have been a couple balls off the plate or something like that. So I think just visually it helps everything, whether that be the umpire or your confidence or whatever. So yeah, I think that is pretty important.
All right, here's a hypothetical. Would you rather have a 10 out of 10 catcher with an average infield and outfield behind you, or would you rather have a filthy infield and outfield with an awful catcher?
That's a tough question. Probably average catcher, really, really good infield, outfield. I don't know.
Just hope you don't throw nothing by him.
I don't know. That's a tough one. Yeah, probably that.
Yeah, I can see that.
But you could just control the mound and have a catcher that goes yard every time he's up, so you're not going to lose a 1-0 game.
Exactly.
You could argue both points.
Yeah, I agree. JT, have you worked on establishing any connection with your catchers thus far? Like, have they reached out to you, or you've, I guess, reached out to them yet to try to establish a connection for this upcoming year?
So this is our catcher. I'm right next to him, but he's not been here. And I don't know. I don't think it's a super necessary thing to reach out to him when he's trying to get. I think he's at the Cape or something like that. So I didn't think it was very necessary for that. So
yeah, I mean, you're going to be with them eventually too, and you're sitting right next to them.
Yeah, exactly. So
did you get a jersey number yet?
I did not. I'm super excited for that day though.
Do you know when it's going to be or what you're going to get, or
no idea?
What did you rock in high school?
9.
9, that's your number. Is that like your number?
That was my number, yeah.
Are you going to try to get it again?
If I can, I'd be fine with that. I think typically pitchers are, at least here, are higher numbers, like high 10s, low 20s, that kind of thing. So we'll see what I get, but yeah,
the reason for 9 being your number, like, is that like your childhood number? Like, why 9?
I don't know. I think I just wanted a single digit number junior year. I picked that.
With it.
Yeah, I was just fine with it. So
that Zach was the number 1 kid. He was that guy.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was that guy. He's like, I'm the first. I'm number 1.
I mean, I was lead off, and then senior year I was 4-0, so I was like, I am number 1. But I did what I had to do.
Yeah, you're like, oh, geez, man, this guy, number 1 kid.
I was the kid that batted with sunglasses on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's always types of hitters.
Y'all got clean unis at Ole Miss, dude. I was looking at your Instagram. Y'all had clean unis at Berkeley, dude.
Yeah, they were awesome.
I mean,
our Columbia jerseys were really cool.
Columbia, the navy blue's clean too. Like, it's just like an average, like, nice with the striped pants.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. So,
Berkeley's got good unis, bro. They got good unis.
They have really good unis,
and their sports are getting better. I don't know why they couldn't be better when I was there, but I mean, they're getting better now.
I know.
Ole Miss got clean unis too. Ole Miss football unis are so clean, also.
Yeah,
that's gonna
be looking forward to wearing the powder blues.
Excuse me.
Are you looking forward to wearing the powder blues?
Oh yeah.
He's worn powder blue before though.
So that was Columbia blue. It was a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wore it during our visit, and it looks awesome. So I am excited.
Yeah, dude, that's definitely got to be something when you're 18 years old you're thinking about.
Oh yeah.
Lean as hell. You want to be drippy out there, bro. I get it.
Exactly.
I get it. No, they got nice. Tennessee has really nice uniforms too. There's a lot of schools with uniforms.
Yeah.
Have you had like your equipment day yet, where like they lay out the gloves, or like you get your custom gloves, bats, cleats, and whatever, or when does that happen?
No, not yet. I'm not really sure when that is either.
That's probably even closer to season, I feel like.
It's probably sometime early fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all are Nike though, right?
Nike, yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Just get Nike whatever you want.
exactly.
Dude, yeah. Also, is so when you were going to Ole Miss, was another factor at all like the success in all their sports, not just their baseball? Was that something that like you thought of as well? Like being surrounded by an amazing football team and an amazing basketball team, like, and you could go do those things as well and like be surrounded by other great athletes that aren't only baseball players.
Um, at the time, I think they were suspended, so I don't even think that was or the football team was suspended. I think so. I don't think it was a very big factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
train though, which is hype.
yeah, now they're good. So that is a pretty cool part of it. Yeah.
You're definitely gonna go to a football game or two.
Oh yeah, just a couple.
Yeah, no, that'd be so sick. Yeah, because we had Lane Kiffin here at FAU, dude, and I don't know how he is at Ole Miss, but like his presence is felt. Like
Oh yeah,
he was on campus. The one thing I loved about him that we don't get from Taggart is that he was on campus all the time. You would see him all the time. He'd be like playing pickup basketball in the outdoor courts with people. He'd be like hanging out in the breezeway. We'd have ESPN there all the time, like following him up and down the breezeway. Like he was very active in the community, and like it made people support him and like want to be a part of FAU. You know, and I feel like that was one reason for his success there. And I can only imagine the things that man is doing in Ole Miss.
yeah. It's summer right now, so I don't think we don't really have like a lot of people up here. He might not be up here because I haven't seen or heard anything from him. But
he's probably pulling on a boat in South Beach right now.
Yeah, exactly. Probably taking a couple of recruits on a boat. So
yeah, dude. Nah, he's a dog though, dude. There's a lot of stories you're gonna probably hear about him too.
Yeah.
No, he was a dog. Did your dad play baseball or like?
He did. So he played at Mississippi State actually.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No, so were you raised a Mississippi State fan?
I was.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
Did he feel betrayed when you committed to Ole Miss?
So he was pretty happy actually. He loved the coaches and everything about this place, but his roommates were pissed.
Your son's a traitor.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, how could you rate this? But
dude, I can only imagine if I signed to like UF, my dad would have disowned me.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So your whole life you grew up like cheering on Mississippi State.
Yeah, pretty much. We went to like a Mississippi State Alabama game when Dak Prescott was there.
Yeah, that's hype.
I mean, it was hard to travel up here and to just go see like one football game for a weekend when we were younger. So we didn't watch too many games in person, but I mean, on TV, we watched a lot.
For sure, yeah.
I loved them. Yeah.
Did they recruit you at all? They reached out to you?
They did a little bit, but it wasn't anything crazy.
Dude, they're pretty nasty at baseball too, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were bad this year, but last year they won it all. So
yeah, they'll be right back though. I feel like all those SEC teams that happens.
They all bounce back.
Dude, that's crazy. That's so funny. You grew up. Now, your dad, did he get to play at all the next level or no?
So he got injured. I think he got drafted twice, like in the super late rounds. But his senior year, he was like, I'm gonna go back to get my degree, and then wherever that takes me, I'll go. But I'm not really interested in playing pro ball and making $5,000 a week or $5,000 a year, whatever it is.
Yeah. Now, does he, when in your development growing up in baseball, was he like a hands-on dad that was trying to help you out a lot, or was he kind of like letting you do your own thing, learn your own journey?
I think he let me do my own thing, and I think I can attribute a lot of my maturity to. I think just being able to develop a good mindset and being able to be on your own at an early age and being able to, I guess, do well with it is kind of from just being able to do my own thing when I was younger, and him not being too like, you do this, that kind of thing, like hands on. So
for sure. But you were able to still like pick his brain apart a little, right? Like, did he still like, teach you some of the ways?
Yeah, he never really talked about like stories or anything about his playing days. He was super kind of closed off about that stuff. I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, he threw a good changeup, and I've tried to replicate that. It didn't really work, obviously. But yeah, I mean, he's been pretty cool with all this like new like spin rate, spin efficiency, all this new stuff that's come out. He's kind of done his research and figured out all that stuff. So
Yeah, and it's cool to see that he like let you guide your own self, because there's a lot of kids when they're younger, like their parents, especially in Tampa, like your kid's gonna go play baseball judgment, or we're gonna go to this, we're gonna do this, and like there's a lot of kids that don't have their own say, and I feel like you being able to have your own say and sculpt your own journey kind of helped you fall, like not lose your love for the sport as well.
yeah, I mean, I think the perfect example of that is me committing here, and when he went to Mississippi State, like he didn't force me to go to Mississippi State or force me not to go to Ole Miss. Like he let me do my own thing and make my own decision. And I'm really grateful that he did do that, because I think I'm where I should be. So
Yeah. You talked a little bit about like RPMs and like the development of like, I guess, the study of like the game. What's it kind of been like growing up with all these changes and how we like view pitching, especially with like the emergence of driveline and like these throwing programs? Do you feel like you've utilized a lot of it as you've grown up with it, or what do you think your whole take on it is?
yeah, I feel like you try to as much as you can, and just trying to soak up as much information. There's so many things out nowadays that you can go look up anything you want and it be right at your fingertips. So yeah, I think you try and, just as a young athlete that wants to learn and get better, you just try and soak up everything. So
There's so many factors in baseball. That's the only thing about it, is there's like, it's such a simplistic game that has so many little factors.
Yeah.
So many. Like Zach and I, we're running the media for a summer ball collegiate team down here in South Florida.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I started, like, I thought I knew baseball, and then I started doing that, and I was like, I don't know shit. There's so many things to take into account. Like now I can actually say it made me love baseball a lot more. Like I sat down and watched the Red Sox Yankees game. Couldn't tell you last time I was like, let's put a baseball game on, now obviously like playoffs and College World Series, of course. But like it just makes me like love it so much. But like there's so many factors, dude. So many statistics. Like, every single thing you do in baseball, I feel like, is to a T.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's where the mental side comes in.
Yeah, for sure.
Being able to just zone everything out and focus on the little things that really matter. And that's a really hard thing to do.
Now, what's this? Zach might know this a little bit better. What's this new thing about the pitch count that they're trying to implement?
Pitch counter, like the clock?
The timer, yeah.
It's like a 25-second rule or something like that, where once you step on the mound, or like once you throw the pitch, you have 25 seconds to throw the next one or something like that.
And it used to not be a clock, right?
No, there was no clock. Yeah. That's why games were like 4 hours or whatever it was. So.
What do you think about that? Does that change how you play or your approach or anything?
So. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Would that change like your approach or like how you play or anything? Like, is that something you need to think about, or?
No, not really. I think I'm pretty straightforward and like to work fast. So.
Do you think that'll change like the game for certain guys? Like, you think that's going to be it's going to have a large impact, or it's kind of just going to be like nothing?
Yeah, I think for some people it will. Some people take their time and go really slow. So that'll make them speed up, but I don't think it'll change too much. But
yeah, for sure. I was trying to think of the new rules that they've also tried to pass. I can't remember.
I saw one the other day. Pull it up. Especially in college, they're going to make a bunch of new rules in college.
Yeah, we were looking at that, but I couldn't.
Oh, here it is. Oh, that's all right. Never mind. All right, here it is. So their modification to the 20-second pitch clock that would give pitchers only one step off or fake throw per batter to reset the clock. This does not include pickoff attempts. Action clocks will be visible on the field. Celebratory props not allowed outside the dugout. Expanded video replay reviews for umpires to see if malicious contact or misconduct occurred. Either by conference rule or mutual consent, all extra innings would start with runners on second base. That is awesome. That's awesome. 3-foot fencing, like protective netting on the dugouts.
JT, do you like the idea of starting a runner at second base in extra innings, or do you think it should go back to normal?
I don't mind it. I don't think there's a big problem with it. Yeah, I don't know. to be honest. I don't really have a say in that. I think.
I
Like,
think
don't
it gives it more of an overtime feel. You know what I mean? If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Like when you got to
I
go for
guess. 2
in football, I feel like it's kind of like that. Like there's like a little flame under your ass.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't really mind it either way, I guess. So.
Yeah. I was never much of a pitcher. I don't know why I always pitched good against Berkeley. Like I literally was terrible, but I would get thrown in every time we'd face Berkeley. I remember Spencer Myers, back-to-back years we played, was 0 for 4 against me. And I was like, that guy's committed to Notre Dame and he couldn't touch me. So I don't want to hear shit from anyone. But yeah, I don't know. For me, pitching with runners in scoring position, I guess I kind of like geeked out a little bit, or kind of just like couldn't compose myself as much. I would take way too long staring off runners or like making sure they wouldn't steal. But I like to pick people off a lot as well. Have you worked on developing your pickoff move at all since you've been at Ole Miss, or do you think yours is like good enough where it's at?
Not here, at least. I thought I had a pretty good pickoff move and being able to hold runners well. At least last year at Berkeley. So I think once we're in doing practices and stuff like that, I think that's going to become a bigger thing. But yeah, not really right now. It's just kind of ramping up the throw. So
Yeah. All right, I got a little hypothetical for you. Let's say you have a SEC rivalry game and one of the other guys plunks your guys and the dugouts are getting a little hyped up. If bench is clear, are you charging out there? You backing up your teammates?
I mean, I do pretty much anything for most of these guys, even already. So I guess I have to.
How often do brawls happen in college baseball? Do they happen at all?
Not often, really, at all.
I feel like if there's a team you're gonna brawl, it's gonna be Tennessee.
Louisville.
Louisville?
No.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, because you're talking about that one pitcher they used to have?
Yeah.
I don't know. He wore the goggles. He was gross.
Oh, I don't know.
He was gross. No, I just feel like Tennessee are the kind of kids that are like, like, what's up?
Yeah.
Nothing was funnier though than when Notre Dame beat them and in their post-game interview, they're like, yeah, we helped start this dynasty. And like someone's like, you never won a national title, you're not a dynasty.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but hey, JT, listen, man, thank you for giving us some of your time, coming on and talking. It was great meeting you. It was great getting to hear your story and everything. I hope you had a great time as well. And hopefully we can get you on again, maybe closer to the season, and see how much you've developed from now and then.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me. It's super fun answering questions and just being able to talk about random stuff. So
hell yeah, man. Hey, you go be fun and have fun being an 18-year-old Ole Miss after winning a national title. You're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you, bro.
All right. Yeah.
That's about it.
All right. Thanks, Zach.